When it comes to all-time dad games, Slay the Spire is royalty. So now that Slay the Spire 2 is in early access, here's what I want to know. Does it still wear the crown? 5 hours in, my answer is, so far, yes. This is not a full review. It's a verified Dad Gamer field report. First, some DadMetrics with receipts, then I'll tell you whether Slay the Spire 2 is worth buying yet, whether it needs a little more time to cook, and where dads really could get into trouble. At a high level, the game keeps the same loop. Start weak, build your deck through fights, relics, shops, and events, then try to carry it through the end of the run. But the real question here is not whether the loop still works. It's whether Slay the Spire 2 has that god-tier addictive pull while still fitting in real life. So let's get into some DadMetrics, starting with the one that matters the most, session length. 5 hours in, I can say that 30 to 60 minutes is enough time to make real progress, face meaningful decisions, and still feel like you're actually playing the game. I'm not ready to tell you that an hour is enough for a full run every time, especially not at 5 hours in. Just like the original, this is a game that asks you to think. Which card should I take? How does that relic change my whole build? What path gives me the best chance for survival? These are not decisions to rush. In case you're wondering, during my last run before recording this, I think it lasted 75 minutes or so, I made it through 47 nodes on the map. All right, interruptibility. It's excellent, which shouldn't surprise anyone who loved the first game. This has always been one of the biggest reasons Slay the Spire fits so well into dad life. This thing is commute friendly, lunch break friendly, and post-bedtime friendly. Because it's fully turn-based, there's no punishment for looking away when life happens. What you're seeing here is me putting the deck to sleep, pretending to work on my computer because I thought I heard my kids coming, and realizing it was a false alarm. The whole cycle, as you can see, is quick and seamless. As for skill rust, the early signs are good. You can step away mid-session and come back without any real mechanical penalty. The loop is familiar, the controls are simple, and because this is not a Twitch game, you don't need to relearn your reflexes every time you pick it back up. That being said, you will occasionally encounter the "what idiot thought this was a good deck" moment upon rebooting after a longer break. But I forgot how to play and now I can't figure it out? Yeah, not so much. What about cognitive load? The good news is, this is still a low-stress game. No time pressure, no big emotional drag. The challenge is practical, not emotional. Remembering your card synergies, relic interactions, and pathing logic. But even that is manageable because the game lets you slow down, hover, read, and reorient yourself. The shop screen is a great example. It throws a lot at you, but the UI is so readable that in no more than 30 seconds, you know what you need to know and you're ready to act. But here's the big dad life warning label. The one more run pull here is still an absolute monster. If you've been Balatroed, Megabonked, or Mugenicsed, you know exactly what I mean. I committed to only playing 5 hours for this video, and pulling myself away was way harder than it should have been. Like, real talk, as soon as I'm done here, I'm picking it right back up. Lastly, portability. Slay the Spire became a premier dad game because it fit dad life perfectly via handheld play. I've been playing Slay the Spire 2 on Steam Deck, and it runs smooth, looks good, and loads quickly. I haven't experienced any bugs. So, bottom line, on DadMetrics alone, the early verdict is yes, it still works for dad life. Short sessions work, interruptions are fine, re-entry is manageable. The real threat is not friction, it's addiction. But DadMetrics are only half the question. The other half is, what is the current state of the game in early access? So, how polished does STS2 currently feel? How much content is here? And most importantly, should you buy it now or wait? Broadly speaking, the game feels polished, stable, and it's beatable. This is not a you only get the first act early access. Specifically, there's a lot of new stuff here. And I'm not going to get granular, but let me say this. Artistically and graphically, the game feels fresh and more alive, which in turn makes the world feel less static, less gamey. The new cards, relics, characters, mechanics, and encounters, they're great. The joy of a deck builder is discovering new combos and synergies. It's the moment when you're driving or in the shower or at work when your brain clicks over and you say, "Oh man, that'd be a fun one to try." and you get excited all over again to experiment with a new build. That is happening to me a lot. The highlight so far has been thinking about the possibilities of the silence slide mechanic. This ability allows you to activate a card when you discard it, which has allowed me to pull together some totally amazing moments with drawing and discarding. And at 5 hours in, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I believe the developers have indicated that this game will be at least twice the size of the original. And so far, that tracks, especially once all the maps are made available. Currently, only 4 of the 6 are available in this version of Early Access. As for co-op, you may not be aware, but you're going to be able to play co-op in this game. The truth is, I haven't had a chance to try it yet, so if you have, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So, how does all of this land? The game is simultaneously familiar but new, ambitious but not complicated, and complex yet still approachable. It is absolutely worth trying now. If you already love the original, you're comfortable buying into Early Access, and you want a game that still fits short play windows but can absolutely steal your night. I'd hold off for now if you want the fullest possible version on your first playthrough, if Early Access rough edges bother you, or if you're hoping for a giant reinvention instead of a refined sequel. And I want to be clear, I do think Mega Crit has meaningfully built on the original. I'm just not yet ready to call this the definitive version. But I am ready to say this. So far, the crown still fits. 5 hours in, Slay the Spire 2 looks like a worthy successor and remains a dad-compatible game. If this kind of dad-first field report is helpful, please consider subscribing. I'm building Verified Dad Gamer for people who still love games but don't have endless hours anymore. Also, it gives me a little cover when my wife asks why I spent my limited time making a video about Magic the Gathering. Yeah, true story. That's actually what I'm dealing with. So, I'm Josh. This is Verified Dad Gamer, and I'll see you in the next one.